welcome back to day 10 of our 12 days of crochet mischief. And tomorrow's going to be a problem because I'm fresh out of fingers. Let's get straight into it, shall we? The clue for today is that this creature's mischief can only be contained by the noodles of shame. And I don't know, I feel like that's kind of a reference that people will either get immediately or they're never going to get. So let's open box number 10. There we go, don't be shy, buddy. And we are, of course, making a little goat. The noodles of shame are referencing the fact that sometimes when goats are really naughty, they won't stop butting things and attacking things. And so you put pull noodles over their horns to stop them injuring themselves and others. And they are called the noodles of shame. And he is going to take us about 35 minutes to make today. Now, don't forget to stick around to the end of the video for a clue as to who we are making on day 11. Okay, let's talk tools and materials. So to make a little goat, you're going to need 8-ply 100% acrylic yarn in 2 colours. You need a colour for your goat and a colour for his feet and his horns. For this particular one, I think sewn on eyes look better. So you're also going to need a needle and a scrap amount of black and just a little bit of the same white that we're using for the body to add the eyes. You're going to need a 3.5mm hook, scissors, 2 stitch markers or bobby pins because they do have a specific purpose in today's pattern, not just marking the end of your row. And of course, you're also going to need some stuffing, which was on the screen the whole time. But that's it. Don't make me get the noodles of shame. Okay, to make our little goat today, we're going to start in our white, and we're going to start by making a magic ring. There we go. Into this magic ring, we are going to put 2 single crochet, 1 and 2. Then we're going to make a picot for his little goatee. And a picot is just when you chain 3 times, and then slip stitch into the first chain. There is his little goatee. You can just skip that stitch if you don't want to give him a goatee. He can just be a T. It is just now occurring to me that the word goatee comes from the fact that it's the hair that grows on a goat. Anyway, then into the magic ring, we're going to put 4 more single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Round 1 accomplished. Now that picot is just a decorative detail. We're really only working into the 6 stitches. We work directly into the magic ring. So in row 2, we're going to start with an increase. Then 4 single crochet, so that's 1 before the goatee and 3 after the goatee. That's 2, 3, and 4, and then a second increase. Now, if I'm holding the 2 increases that I just did as the top of my head, the goatee looks like it's pointing off to one side. By some kind of black magic, this will straighten out by the time we finish the head, okay? It will. So row 3 is just 8 single crochet around. 1, 2, 3, 7, and 8. Row 4 is an increase. And then 7 single crochet to bring our row up to 9 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7. Look at that. Starting to look pretty straight. Row 5 is a single crochet and then an increase. And then 7 single crochet back around to the start, leaving us with 10 stitches in our round. Like so. We're going to be making the first little ear. We're going to start by working 9 single crochet around. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, and then 9. And then in this next stitch, we're going to build the ear. So the first thing that I want you to do is identify the back loop of the stitch. So you see here, oh, there we go. You see here, there are 2 loops to every stitch. We have a loop on the side facing us and a loop on the side facing away from us. And I want you to put a stitch marker in the loop on the side facing away from us. That's going to be relevant next row. Then all into the front loop of that stitch, we're going to work a slip stitch, then a double crochet, which is where you yarn over your hook, insert your hook through just the front loop in this case, yarn over and pull up a loop. So you have 3 in total on your hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2, and then yarn over and pull through the second 2. So that is a finished double crochet. We're then going to chain 2 quite tightly, work another double crochet into the same front loop, and a slip stitch into the same front loop. And there is our first little ear. So what those chains should be doing is providing a very slight point to your ear. And that is the end of row 6. And in row 7, we're going to be building horns and the other ear. So there's just a lot going on. So in row 7, we're going to work a single crochet changing to our brown. So how you work color changes is you insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. So you have 2 loops of your old color on your hook. You hold that old color out of the way, grab a strand of the color you're changing to and pinch it at the base of the stitch on the inside of the work, yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. And just tug on your old color to settle it down into place. So that should leave you with a finished single crochet in your white with your brown now on your hook ready to go. And I am going to just like tie those together just to lock the color change in place. And I'm not going to trim off either color because we'll be swapping backwards and forwards between them for a little bit throughout this pattern. And you can work color changes on any stitch. It's just that final yarn over and pull through you do with your new color. So then in our brown, we're going to make the first little horn. So we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn, and then working down the chain, we're going to work a slip stitch and then a single crochet changing back to our white. There we go. So that's the first little horn. We're going to work a white single crochet into the head, changing back to our brown. That's just so that there's 1 white stitch between the 2 horns. And we're going to make the second horn. Chain 3, then working down the chains, slip stitch, and single crochet changing back to our white. Now that is it for the brown until we start making the hooves, so you can trim it off at this point if you like. I'm probably going to leave mine attached. Then in our white, working into the head, we're going to work 1 single crochet. And in the next stitch, we're building the second ear. So I'm going to take my second stitch marker, it's a bobby pin, and I'm going to mark the back loop of that stitch. And then all in the front loop of that stitch, we're going to work a slip stitch, a double crochet, chain 2, a second double crochet, and a slip stitch. And there is the second little ear. This is your standard here that he can hear us now warning. Then continuing to work around the head, we have a single crochet, an increase, 3 single crochet into the same stitch, 1, 2, 3, another increase, a single crochet, and finally we're going to skip the stitches of the ear and instead work a single crochet into that marked back loop. You can take that stitch marker out now, and it's just a single crochet, which brings us to the end of our row. So that is what we look like at the end of row 7. We have 2 ears, 2 horns, and we're currently sitting behind one of the ears. If you wanted to use safety eyes, you could absolutely pop them in at this point because all of the facial features are in place, so you'll be able to line them up. Okay, but as mentioned, I'm going to sew mine on afterwards. Okay, so for row 8, we're going to start with a single crochet 3 together. And not only is this the first time we're doing one of these stitches in this pattern, but it's also a really messy one because we're navigating around horns and such. So to do this particular single crochet 3 together, the first stitch of it is the last white stitch before the first horn. So I'm going to insert my hook into that stitch, skipping all of the stitches of the ear, yarning over and pulling up our first loop. Then the second stitch, and a single crochet 3 together is just a decrease over 3 stitches instead of over 2, but this one here is made particularly messy by the fact that we've got horns in the middle of it. So there is our first stitch. Our second stitch, making sure my yarn is running behind the horns, is this little white stitch between the horns. Yarn over and pull up a loop and tuck that horn to the front. So I have 3 loops on my hook at this point. And the final stitch of this decrease is this first white stitch on the far side of the last horn. Again, making sure my yarn is running behind the horn. Yarn over and pull up a loop and tuck that horn to the front. So I have 4 loops on my hook and 2 horns at the front. And the stitches that I'm using for this decrease are 1 horn, 2 horn, and 3. Yarn over and pull through all 4 loops and give the horns a little bit of a tug just to make sure that they are definitely on the outside of the work. We're then going to skip all of the stitches of the second ear and instead work a single crochet into the marked back loop behind it, taking out that stitch marker. So with all of that out of the way, we're going to just continue in regular stitches around the rest of the head. So the next stitch is a decrease, then 2 single crochet and 2, 3 single crochet all into the same stitch, 2 single crochet, a decrease, and a single crochet back to the start of our round. Now that should leave you with 12 stitches in your round in total, and that is the head pretty much fully formed. From here we're going to be working on like the neck, the legs, the body, etc. And note, the goatee, sticking out the bottom of the middle of the face. Yarn can be ridiculous sometimes. I am going to take a little bit of stuffing at this point and just stuff the head. Like so. Now we carry on into row 9. So row 9 starts with a decrease, then a single crochet 3 together, 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, 3 single crochet into the same stitch, 2, 3, 2 single crochet, and a decrease. You'll see what we're doing there is closing off the back of the head and elongating the neck down, and you should have 10 stitches in your round. Row 10 starts with 3 single crochet all into the same stitch. So that's 2 and 3, 4 single crochet down the side, 1, 2, 3 and 4, 3 single crochet all into the same stitch, 1, 2 and 3, and that should be falling basically middle of the chest, and then 4 single crochet back to the start of our round, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Row 11 starts with 7 single crochet, 1, 2, 6 and 7, and then 5 single crochet all into the same stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Oh, now who said you could eat that? It's not for you. 3 single crochet across the chest, 1, 2, 3, 5 single crochet all into the same stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then 2 single crochet back to the start of our round, 1 and 2. So that is going to tell you the rough positioning for our front legs on either side of the head. Row 12 starts with 9 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8 and 9, then 5 single crochet all into the same stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 7 single crochet across to the other leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 5 single crochet all into the same stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and 4 single crochet back to the start of our round. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's what we currently look like. Alrighty, next row. Row, row, row your goat. So row 13, we're going to start with 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, 3 single crochet into the same stitch, 1, 2, 3, 8 single crochet down the side, 1, 2, 3, 7, and 8. And that should mean that the next stitch of your row is like the middle stitch of the 5 that we worked last round. And into it, we're going to build the little hoof. So all into the same stitch, we're going to work 1 white single crochet, changing to our brown, 3 brown single crochet, changing to our white, 1, 2, 3, and a final white single crochet all into the same stitch. So into that 1 stitch, we have 5 single crochet in total, 1 white, 3 brown, and then a second white. It's then 11 single crochet across to the other side. 1, 2, 10, and 11. And that should mean that the next stitch of your round is the middle stitch of the 5 single crochet that we did last round. And we're going to build a second little hoof. So all into the same stitch, 1 white single crochet, changing to our brown. It's a fetching little corn chip. 3 brown single crochet, changing back to our white. And then 1 white single crochet all into the same stitch. And again, into that 1 stitch, we've worked 5 single crochet in total, 1 white, 3 brown, and then another white. Then it's just 6 single crochet back to the start of our round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There is our fetching little Dorito. Dory goat. Is this a joke? Can't even tell. And you should have 40 stitches in your round at this point. So in row 14, we're going to work 9 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, and 9. We're then going to skip 13 stitches. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white ones, 3 brown, and 5 more white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so this one here, it's the 14th stitch from your hook, is the next one we're going to work into. And you just sort of fold it over so that it's right up next to where we're currently attached. And we're going to work 3 single crochet, 1, 2, and 3. So that's created like a little flap of a leg. We're then going to skip 13 more single crochet. So again, it's 5 white, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 brown, 1, 2, 3, and then 5 more white on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And it's the 14th stitch from your hook is the next one we're working into. And it's 2 single crochet back to the start of our round. And just like that, our round has gone from 40 stitches down to just 14, which is far more manageable. And he now has some mostly formed little front legs, ready to climb vertical surfaces with a single step. Row 15 is 7 single crochet. 1, 2, 6, and 7. Then an increase. 5 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then another increase to finish our round. Row 16 is then just 16 single crochet around. 1, 2, 3, 14, 15, and 16. In row 17, we're going to start establishing where we want the back legs to be. So we start with 11 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, and 11. So the next stitch should fall basically directly behind this front leg. If anything, it's slightly on the inside of it. And I'm going to put 5 single crochet all into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's 2 single crochet across, 1 and 2, and then 5 single crochet all into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's just 1 single crochet back to the start of our round. So that is an approximation of where those back legs are going to fall. As long as they're roughly behind your front legs, you should be okay. You are welcome to frog as many stitches as you need to line this first one up, and then just finish the row as written. That's just accounting for drift, for anyone wondering. In row 18, we start with 13 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 11, 12, and 13. 5 single crochet all into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 6 single crochet across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 5 single crochet all into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And 3 single crochet back to the start of our round. 1, 2, 3. And there should be 32 stitches in your round at the moment. And then row 19 is where we're going to make the back hooves. So we're going to start with 5 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But before we make the back hooves, we actually have to make the tail. So the next stitch of your round should be roughly directly on top of the back. Yeah? I want you to grab one of your stitch markers or bobby pins, and we're going to mark the back loop of that stitch. And then all into the front loop, it's basically another little ear. So it's slip stitch, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and slip stitch. Gives him a happy little tail. And then it's 9 single crochet down the side. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, and 9. Then all into the same stitch. I'm going to work 1 white single crochet, changing to our brown. 3 brown single crochet, changing back to our white. It's 2, 3, and 1 final white single crochet. So all into the same stitch, we worked 5 single crochet in total, 1 white, 3 brown, and then a second white. Then it's 10 single crochet across the belly. 1, 2, 3, 9, and 10. And we're going to build the final hoof. So all into the same stitch, 1 white single crochet, changing to our brown. 3 brown single crochet, changing back to our white. And 1 more white single crochet. So for the 4th time, all into the same stitch, we have 5 single crochet in total, 1 white, 3 brown, and 1 more white. That's actually a wrap on the brown. We can trim that off at this point. And then it's just 5 single crochet up the body, back to the start of our round. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so there is our little triangular friend. He kind of is a goat emerging from the 2nd dimension right now. It's just like, he's giving me very ominous triangle portal vibes. So row 20 starts with 4 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to work a single crochet 3 together, skipping the tail. So it's kind of a weird one where we have the first stitch is here, yarn over and pull up a loop. The second stitch is that marked back loop, yarn over and pull up a loop. And the third stitch is the first single crochet into the body on the other side of the tail. Yarn over and pull up a loop. So you have 4 loops in total on your hook at this point, running behind the tail. And we're just gonna finish that stitch off. There we go. And then it's 4 single crochet down the side. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to skip 13 stitches. So that's 5 white stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 brown, 1, 2, 3, and then 5 more white stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's the 14th stitch from your hook is the next one we're going to work into. And we're going to work 2 single crochet and 2. And then we're going to skip 13 single crochet again. So 5 white, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 brown, 1, 2, 3, and 5 more white, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, meaning that it's the final stitch in our round that we're working into. And we're going to work a single crochet. And those are the back legs formed. And at this point, we're going to stop and we're going to stuff our goat. You don't need to get any stuffing down into the legs because we're just going to sew them shut. But make sure that your body is nice and stuffed. Ooh, I'm running out of the fluffy stuff. There we go. And now we're going to work the final row, which is just 6 decreases around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and finish off. So we do have a little bit of an opening left at the base of our goat. We're going to take our remaining yarn and pull it through the front loops only of the remaining stitches in the round. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pull it tight to close and tuck that end away inside. Okay, so we do have a couple of finishing details to add to our little goatee friend. That's what we currently look like, and his legs are kind of this like nightmare petal thing from behind. So let's start by finishing off these legs. So we've been doing a lot of this over the course of this event, and all we're doing is finding pairs of stitches down the length of the opening, and then using the front loops only to kind of weave it shut. So we skipped 13 stitches for each one of these legs. So we need to find 6 pairs, and we're only going to be using the white ones to sew it shut. So it's really only 5 pairs of white stitches. Just anchoring my yarn in there. There we go. And then it's just a matter of picking up the front loop of the top stitch of the pairing and the front loop of the bottom stitch of the pairing, working the needle back towards me. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to leave the 3 brown stitches loose. So then it's just a matter of working down the middle of the leg, back up into the body, and across to the next one, where we will do the same thing. So flatten it out to find our 5 pairs of white stitches, and then just lace up our goat. There we go, all 4 legs sewn shut. Okay, with our goat stabilized, I'm just going to tug on the horns, make them sit right, tug on the ears, make them sit right, and now I'm just going to sew some little eyes and some little nostrils on, just like I've done with this one here. So for the eyes, I'm sewing them into row 4 with about 3 stitches visible between them. And I'm just doing them the same way I did for the fox and for the walrus. And that is just a little black splodge. And we'll do the nostrils at the same time. There you go, prepotente. Followed by a little white dot on top. And there we have our finished day 10. You might say that he's pretty good. He's great even. You might even say he's the goat. Been waiting over a month to make that joke. Hope you all laughed. So there is day 10 done. I hope you had fun making a little goat with me today. All right, a clue for day 11, our second last day. It crept up on us really quickly. So the clue, the bin, trash can, garbage can that can keep this creature out, but also still allow most humans to use it, has not yet been invented. You're going to need some either black or dark gray and some brown, and it's going to take us about 35 minutes to make. If you think you know what we're making, leave your guesses down in the comment section and I will let you all know in a pinned comment tomorrow how many people I saw guess correctly. And I hope to see you guys there. Okay, bye.